Today I want to talk about Disney, and it is closing its Star Wars Star Cruiser hotel experience. Now this doesn't really come as a surprise to me. I'm surprised it's happened this early, but with the amount they are charging for this hotel experience, it does not surprise me that it is closing. This article is on The Verge, which I'm reading, and it says Disney World is shutting down the Galactic Star Cruiser, the immersive Star Wars themed hotel that costs around $5,000 for a 2-night stay. In an update on Disney website, the company says the Star Cruiser will host its final guests from September 28th to the 30th. We are so proud of all the cast members and Imagineers who brought Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser to life, and look forward to delivering an excellent experience for guests during the remaining voyages over the coming months. Disney's update says thank you to our guests and fans for making this experience so special. $5,000 for a 2-night stay was a ridiculous amount to be charging people. I know when it first opened, it did get quite full. I believe it was popular, but I also believe that was hardcore Disney fans and fans of Disney Star Wars sequels rather than just everyday people who wanted to go and experience Star Wars. I think the Star Cruiser experience would have done a lot better than it had done if they had chosen to do it on the original trilogy characters rather than the sequel trilogy characters. You'd have got more of the older generations there. You'd have got more of the people that grew up with Star Wars wanting to go to see the characters they grew up with rather than the new characters which they were unfamiliar with. And it also probably would have done a lot better if they weren't charging the ridiculous amount they were. I mean, $5,000 for a 2-night stay is just outrageous amount of money for people, especially at a time when everyone is cutting back on things which are unnecessary. Disney's Galactic Star Cruiser hasn't been around for long, as it only first opens its doors to guests in March 2022. The lavish hotel is modelled after the icon in Star Wars, featuring highly detailed decor, interactive events, themed dining and live entertaining, spanning a 2-night experience. But with a price of roughly $4,807 for 2 adults, or $5,999 for 3 adults and 1 kid, Disney doesn't exactly make taking the stay very affordable. Which is what its main problem was. It was just unaffordable for a lot of people. But I think they thought just having the Star Wars name slapped on it would entice people regardless of the cost. And their treatment of Star Wars and how divisive it's been and how it's separated the fan base and how it's turned a lot of people off Star Wars because at the moment it's mediocre at best, which isn't a good look for the franchise, then that price tag was never going to entice people to come. And I think Disney just bit on the wrong horse on this one. There have been signs that the experience may have been struggling. However, in March, Disney announced it would start scheduling 2 bookings per week in October, down from its typical 3 to 4 weekly bookings. With the Highclone set to close in September, Disney won't get the chance to make this change. According to Disney, the company will contact anyone who has bookings on or after September 30th to discuss your options and modify your plans. The company is also pausing new bookings until May 26th while it takes care of the affected guests. Disney didn't immediately respond to The Verge's request for comment. It's been a pretty rough day for Disney. In addition to closing up the Galactic Star Cruiser, CEO Bob Iger announced that the company is cancelling its plans to build a $1 billion development near its Orlando, Florida theme park. The move, which Iger attributes to changing business decisions in an internal memo, is likely a result of Disney's feud with Florida Governor Robert DeSantis. Disney sued Florida last month, accusing the state of, and that just gets into Disney's politics with the Governor of Florida. But this Star Cruiser has not done very well since it opened. Like I say, it did start off quite well. It was fully booked for the first month and a half, 2 months I think it was. But then after that, they have struggled to get people in. And the bookings that have been made, a lot of them got cancelled. And it doesn't surprise me with how much they were charging for the Star Cruiser experience. Nearly $5,000 is a hell of a lot of money. And I think it was just priced out of a lot of people's affordability. And Star Wars doesn't have the pulling power it did even 20 years ago now. Disney's ran the name of the franchise into the ground, pumping out as many movies and shows as they have, and they're not being received well with fans. Had this Star Cruise been based more on the original trilogy, I think it would have done better. I do think it would have stayed open longer had it been based on the original trilogy, having the likes of Darth Vader, C-3PO, Chewbacca, Luke, Leia, Han Solo stand-ins, and I think people would have come here, especially if the prices were lower than what they were charging. End of the day, it is the prices of the tickets which has done this out of business. There's no two ways around that. If the prices weren't what they were, then more people may have turned up and it would have stayed open longer. But it's a combination of too high prices and not enough interest in Disney Star Wars sequels trilogy. It's closing later this year after little over a year of being open, and I think that speaks for itself, the monumental failure what this has been. Now, I'm not sure how much this cost to build, but I have read that Disney reportedly spent $2 billion to construct its two immersive Star Wars parks in Florida and California, though it's unclear if the cost of building the Star Cruiser is included in the sum. But what do you guys think of this? Are you surprised that it's closing down, or were you expecting it to happen? Do let me know in the comments below, and that's all from me. I'll have to make a fresh cup of tea.